You really want a fantastic mob farm that will give you both XP and mob drops, but you have absolutely no redstone. And if you had some, you probably wouldn't know what to do with it anyway. Weird stuff, that redstone. I've got you a completely redstone-free mob farm that works in Minecraft 1.19 and below, and I'm going to show you how to make it block by block. I really need some mob drops, gunpowder, bones, rotten flesh. I need loads of it. Some XP would be useful too, but all I've got in my chest are stone, wood, some junk, and the odd bit of iron. I reckon I could still put a really effective mob farm together with that. Let's have a go. Now, you don't have to do this, but I find when you do a mob farm, it's always slightly better if you do it over some water. Did you see that? The magma almost got me. But Avo, if I'm in water, how am I meant to build anything? Well, you've got a couple of options. The first is to find something like this, a sunken ship with a bit spotting out of the water, which will give you some blocks to build against. Although you better remember to take them down below the water level once you've done your farm. Or, like most of the time where you've got no sunken ships, you can do it with a lily pad. Let me show you how. I really don't like the way the bottom half of my body has just disappeared. Grab your lily pad in your hand and then just place it down on the water like that. Get right back out of the way and jump out of your boat. Get under the water and place a block, doesn't matter what block, underneath the lily pad. That's going to dislodge that lily pad. You can see now you have got a block directly on the surface of the water that you can start building on. It's dead easy when you know how, isn't it? You even get your lily pad back. And then make yourself a little platform to work from. I've made 5 by 5, that's plenty. Everything you need to build this farm is inside this chest. These are the exact number of items that you are going to need to build this farm. You'll notice there is not a dot of redstone anywhere in this chest. We've got 25.5 stacks of blocks there. I've used mud bricks, but you don't have to use them. I've also got 3.5 stacks of tinted glass down the bottom. That could also be any other opaque block, but I like to look through and see the mobs when I'm up above them. Take a screenshot, pause the video, do whatever it is you've got to do. Let's crack on. And the first thing you're going to do anywhere on your platform is lay down 62 of your scaffolds. Now, I didn't put it in the inventory, but you might want to just pop down a torch on this platform in case it gets dark. And up at the top, you are going to build a 3 by 7 ring. So something like this, and you're going to make it 2 deep. So it will look something like this. And then at the end that is opposite the scaffold at the bottom, place your soul sand right at the very end. Then take your 2 or 3 pieces of blue ice. It could also be packed ice. It's entirely up to you, but it definitely works. And then solid block on the end of that. You're then going to come up 1 more ring. Then just above the ice next to the soul sand, you are going to place 2 signs just like that. We are now going to make a platform going out either of the long sides. So from this corner right by the scaffolding, including the corner block, we're going to come out 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. We're going to hop up, then we're going to come across again, including that block, another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So that was 7 and then another 7. And what we're going to do now is we're going to build a big platform with these being our guide. Except at the soul sand end, we are going to leave 2 blocks open. So this platform is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks wide. So it should look exactly like that. We're then going to put a 3 high wall on this top platform and follow it so it is the same height all the way around. I'll show you what I mean. So it looks just like that. Then, whilst crouching, you want to, from the top of the wall, place a sign right on that block just there, and then the one next to it as well, and the one opposite. You can do it from either corner. It is a little bit of a stretch, and you've got to make sure you're in crouch. You might want to do this before you build the walls up, but it does work doing it like this as well. And you're then going to come along and you're going to get one of your water buckets and you're going to place it in this corner right there. You're going to come around the other side and you're going to place at the other water bucket in this corner right there. You can then fill up your water buckets from the center of those 2 because they are actually infinite water sources. And then if you come along, you'll notice that the water goes all the way to the end but does not flow over the end. We can then place a block, just 1 block, on the block above those signs like that. Drop yourself down onto there and then get one of your water buckets, come along and place it at the end so as it flows over the ice and there's a 2 block drop. Then grab your blocks and block yourself all the way to the top. Get your empty bucket and refill it from the center just like before. Come to the end of the water channel and count from the corner 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th one, pop a block and then build yourself a little bridge across to the other side, and you're going to complete this 5 by 5 square all around. So it's making a 3x3 hole going into your water channel. You are then going to build out 8 blocks, so including this ring, 9 blocks in total. So from the center, I'm coming out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and I'm going to do that in all 4 directions and then join them up, so I've got a 21 by 21 square with a 3x3 hole right in the middle of it. So it will look like this. Then bring yourself back down on top of this scaffold, just drop yourself down onto it and then go down a little bit. It will knock you a touch, but don't worry, it won't hurt. And then put 6 more scaffolds on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Come back up to the top and you should find you are on the same level as the roof. We're then going to fill in the roof right here like that. We're going to leave that hole exactly there. We're then going to get ourselves some buttons and we're going to pop these buttons on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a gap, 5, 6 and 7. That's going to make this a non-spawnable area. We're then going to work on this platform. And the first thing we're going to do is build a rim all the way around this square that is 2 blocks high. And once you've done that, jump back inside your trench and in one of the corners, build yourself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Come to the opposite corner, do exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Then come in 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and then 5 and then 4 and then 3 and then 2 and then 1. And you're going to put that structure in every corner. Then come to one of your corners. And on this diagonal, you'll find you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 little jutty out bits. Now the very center one, which is 4 from each side, you want to stand on it and go 1, 2, 3, exactly like that. And then you want to use this as the corner of a 3x3 square by going inwards 2 and inwards in the other direction 2 like that. And then fill it in as a little 3x3 square and do that in all of the corners. Once you've got all of them in, you are going to trim the corners with trap doors. You're going to have 3 trap doors on each side, so you've got 12 trap doors on each podium, and then you're going to flip them all down. We're then going to place 4 more podiums between these podiums, so a temporary block right on that trap door. You'll need to press shift click and then go 1, 2 and 3 and then make another 3x3 podium just like that. You're then going to take out that block because you'll need that later, and you're going to grab another 3 line of trapdoors on each side exactly like that. Not right in the middle there because that won't work. It needs to go on the top, because if it's on the bottom the mobs won't actually see it as something that they can walk on. And you're going to do that 4 times all the way around. And finally you are going to create a center podium as well. And you have to be very careful that you don't fall down the hole because you're going to struggle to get out again. Temporary block on there and then place 1, 2 and 3. If you do this while pressing shift or crouch, you'll find that you don't fall in that hole. There, there and there, and then you can grab that block back right like that, and you are going to put trapdoors along each side just the same way. Then you're going to bring out these blocks here because they're going to be in the way. Each of the 4 corners recover these blocks. Now come back onto your wall. Build up the tower at the side of the wall that has got the soul sand hole in it so as it's the same level. Then grab your water buckets and on the straight part place a water bucket right at the edge of your diagonal area there. Then miss a block, place one right in the center, refill both of your buckets from there and then place one right at the end and refill your bucket. That will flow water right to the hole but not over it. Do that in each of these 4 corners, and then when you've done that, place a water bucket in each corner as well. Don't forget to refill your water bucket from your straight sides, and that will entirely fill up this tray. Drop down onto the area with the buttons and place a scaffold on that one section you didn't put anything on, and then 2 more onto that, because we're going to need to be able to creep up this wall and we don't want to hurt ourselves when we drop. We're then going to build this wall up too high. You should find you are on the same level as your central platforms, and we're going to build a shelf all the way round, 1 in, right the way around the edge of this area. And once you've done that, we are going to place trapdoors all the way along the inside like this on all 4 of the inside of the rows. Now this next bit is optional, but I find that it does improve the rates ever so slightly. From this corner here, just 1 in from the outer corner, you're going to count, including the corner, 1, 2 and 3, and then you're going to take out 2 blocks like that. You've got a few spare blocks, so it doesn't matter if you don't catch them. You are then going to count 1, 2, and you're going to take out another 2 blocks, leave 1 block and then take out another 2 blocks and then leave 2 blocks, take out another 2 blocks, which should count you 1, 2, 3 to the corner. Do that all the way around, and then place trapdoors on those holes as well. You should have each hole being 2 trapdoors wide. It's always good to make sure the trapdoors flat down like that rather than in the opposite direction. It will still work, it just doesn't look quite as nice. Now, the next bit is optional. If you want spiders, do not do it. I'm about to spider-proof this farm. Spiders can climb up pretty much any surface, and as a result, they take up extra mob cap and never ever come out of the farm, meaning your rates do drop. So I quite like to stop the spiders from spawning and get my string by another way. As a result, you get far more of the other mobs, more bones, more gunpowder, more rotten flesh, all of that kind of thing. So I do recommend you do this, but you don't have to. Jump across to the center of your platform here and place 2 blocks right in the middle, and each one 2 blocks right in the middle. What a spider needs are 3 blocks around the spawning block. This block will stop that being a spawnable block. This isn't spawnable, this isn't spawnable, so as a result there aren't 3 spawnable blocks around it, and you'll find that the spiders don't spawn in there anymore. There is enough room, however, for all of the other stuff to spawn, so as a result you get everything else and you get loads of it. And then flat down all of the trapdoors that ring around your chamber, and then increase the wall height by 2. And this is where you put your block of choice for your roof. I am going to use tinted glass because I like to see inside, but you can use any opaque block. Now don't make the entire roof, because you'll find you'll start to get things spawning inside as soon as you do. But maybe put a row just to start yourself off of around about this sort of largeness all the way around. You kind of want to build this up slowly, so when the mobs start spawning you are ready for them, because at the moment, I'm going to be honest, if any mobs start spawning and fall into my trap, I'm going to come face to face with them in a moment, and I don't want that. That will do for now. I've got enough coverage that I can get to the middle, but it's not dark enough inside to spawn any mobs. And don't forget to increase the scaffold so it reaches the top of your platform. And at this point I do need to make an apology. At the top of the video in the inventory I said you needed 64 plus 32 scaffolds. You actually need 64 plus 36. I miscounted, I do apologise. Now come to the very centre of your roof, and right over that centre block place your remaining 28 scaffolds. And at the top you're going to build your AFK platform, but it's not just any AFK platform. All the mobs are going to be piped to you so you can batter them without having to move. So with the pipe to your left, come left so as you can place 1 block of glass. I'm using glass simply because it is not spawnable and it's quite a good block to use. Then come backwards 1, come around 1, and around again, and you're going to build yourself up a platform that is also going to incorporate the killing chamber for your mobs. So your platform is a 7x5 platform with the scaffold in exactly the position you can see there, 1 from the right hand side and 2 from the bottom, and there is a 3x1 hole that is just to the left hand side that we're going to be placing in a chest and also a hopper. Put your first double chest there and then shift click another double chest on top. That's just for extra storage, you don't have to do that. Shift click a hopper into the bottom and shift click a second hopper into the top. You can see the nibs of both of those hoppers are going into the chest. Then create a 2x2 platform of hoppers going in exactly like that. Get yourself some carpet, doesn't matter what colour it is, and put a carpet on top of each of those hoppers. You are then going to place a trapdoor against the edge of that hopper so it sits up like that, and you're going to get some glass and you're going to build yourself a little 4x4 square going up and around these carpets exactly like that. And this is going to be the drop chute that does damage to the mobs when they fall down to you. First things first, build it up too high all the way around, so build that like that. Obviously that's got to be a horseshoe, so we're just going to build it up another level there and bring that across like that. We are going to place trapdoors on the underside of that opening just by your AFK spot, which is going to stop anything from being able to get to you like a baby zombie, and also it's going to stop anything from being able to see you, just like that. We're then going to come part way along this side and build up glass so as we're just about the same level, and we're going to go up another 8 on top of this, including the little bit off the side with the glass. This so far gives a drop of 11 blocks to the mobs, which isn't really that much. It's not going to hurt them. So we're going to go up another 8. And this time we're not going to put the little nib out of the side. That is there for us to jump down onto so as we don't do ourselves too much damage by dropping down 19 blocks all in one go. Once you're at the top, build up 3 more blocks like this. But don't build 3 blocks on this block here, build it up right there and then come all the way around so as you've got an enclosure. And then on top of this we're going to put some solid blocks, and on top of the solid blocks I've put some buttons because we don't want this area to be spawnable, and if I just leave it like this at night time this could literally get covered in mobs. We can now jump down onto that nib. You can see we do take a little bit of damage but not so much as it's a problem, and then jump down onto this bit which puts us back on our platform. And if you want to now, you can enclose this platform so as you don't get attacked by things from the air, you know, big horrible parrots for example, but you don't have to, it's entirely up to you. I'd recommend an enclosure something like that. 2 blocks tall is perfect, and inside you have got loads of room. I've come back down at the bottom to finish off this water elevator. It needs to be 62 blocks tall in total. It has already got 14 blocks in it up to this roof, which means that we've got to go and do another 48 blocks. And you can literally use whatever block you would like. I'm going to use a little bit of mud, and then as I get towards the top I'm going to use some glass so as I can actually see the mods shooting past me when I go up there to AFK. We're at the top of this glass tower and we're 1 spot above the opening of the tower behind me. I'm going to come to the center here and I'm going to come across, including that one, 1, 2, 3 and 4. I'm then going to turn around and reach across, and level with that I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then I'm going to build a wall either side so I don't fall in. I'm then going to get myself a sign. I'm going to place a sign right there, right at the end of that tunnel, and I'm going to finish off by building myself walls all the way along, level with the top of that roof. You can see we are level right there, so I'm going to come to the end here and I'm going to place a bucket of water on the block just above the opening so the water drops down, and it also runs along but it doesn't run into the drop zone because that would be bad, it would wash away the carpets. I can then count, so that is 1, 2, 3. I can take myself some more glass and run a row of glass all the way along here just to top it off. It's not essential, but I like things to be closed. What I can then do is I can come along here, I can jump down onto my pod yet again, jump down onto this pod again and get myself down. We're almost done, but there's one more thing that we have to do, and that's turn all of that downwards flowing water into water source blocks. So come into your water tube and at the bottom place your first kelp, and place kelp all the way up until you get to your door, because you're going to need to take a breath and refresh your bubbles. You're not quite going to make it to the top if you do it in one breath. Once you've got your breath back, come up inside and build up your kelp as fast as you can so you get to the top. You should just about make it with your bubbles. Once you get to the top, take out a couple of bits of glass and jump out the way you've done a couple of times already. Make sure you replace that glass, otherwise there could be problems. Jump down again and we are nearly done. Once you've done that, remove all of your kelp and this will be water source blocks. You can now take out those 2 signs and replace the stone. And now all we need to do is place the roof on the rest, and we have got a darkened area that the mobs can spawn in. Once your roof is complete, whether you use tinted glass or some other opaque block, you've got a completely dark section. It is light level 0 underneath there. Now, occasionally Minecraft glitches at this point and you'll see some light areas. All you need to do is relog and you'll find those light areas go to light level 0 again and you are golden. So let's get ourselves up to the top. Up here I've placed myself a sword. Now the best sword for this is looting 3 and sweeping edge 3. That will get you hitting loads of mobs at the same time and maximising the loot. If you've not got those enchantments, it really doesn't matter obviously, but it is great if you've got them. So all we got to do now is wait for the mobs to spawn. Down in that chamber, the mobs are spawning in the dark. They see those trapdoors as walkable blocks and they walk over them, and as a result fall in the water, shoot up to us so we can bash them on the head. And you can see the mobs walking and falling into the water just a little way under our feet. And after just a few minutes, you have got plenty of mobs flowing into your chamber, and you can bash them for both the XP and also the mob drops. If you wanted to, you could have 2 layers of platforms to get slightly more mob drops. You wouldn't double it, but you would get a number more. So you could perhaps try that if you've got the extra resources. But I gotta be honest, I reckon this is probably enough. I hope you've enjoyed the video and this farm, and if you have, make sure you hit that like button and leave me a comment below. Also, are there any other farms you'd like me to have a go at? And I'll look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.